Welcome to the DNA Sportscast. I'm Daniel, and this is Aiden next to me.
What's going on, guys?
How the hell are we? Well, it's been a pretty exciting couple of weeks, hasn't it, mate? You know,
we're halfway through the group stages of the World Cup.
yeah, it's been a pretty interesting ride. I think a lot of what we assumed would happen has, but also
A few surprises here and there.
absolutely, mate.
Yeah,
And I think
a few overperformers, a few underperformers.
And I think
know.
we're pretty we're class in that overperforming bracket. I think Australia has done pretty well, man. Honestly, the France game was it was always
bit rough.
It was gonna happen.
It was exciting for the first 20 minutes.
20 minutes was great.
Yeah.
I think leading against the world champions for 20 minutes or however long it was awesome.
Yeah.
But look,
We were ahead.
Unfortunately, we dropped away,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that was pretty evident in our last game as well against Tunisia. But
Yeah.
we were a lot stronger in that game.
Yeah. Big Harry Sousa kept us tight at the back.
Yeah,
After big Mitch Duke put us 1-0 up.
both having amazing performances
games.
as well. I think Mitch Duke he's played really well this World Cup.
Yeah.
Suda has just I think he's probably put himself on that stage now where people are starting to see him perform, and he's had a couple of injuries and forced him on the sidelines, but it might be if we can get through to the final stage, man, he could actually have a pretty good shot at securing another move. But
possibly.
it happens in the World Cup.
He's at Stoke at the moment. He was. I was a bit worried about him actually because he was just coming off a long-term injury, just
ACL as
before
well.
the World Cup.
His knee.
So it
that's
was
something we didn't really mention in the build-up, but it's when it comes to big starting players, you don't really think about it. They usually turn up, and that's what he's done.
Yeah, he's the Australian Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I don't insult him like that. Not Maguire. Don't insult Suda like that. I honestly, as a United supporter, man, I'd rather Suda than Maguire in my backline. I'm not even joking. It's been 2 games, Sean. Probably get injured in the next game. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Look, for the love of God, I hope Australia does really well. But
yeah, we need to. If France beat Tunisia, which should happen, and then we get a draw against Denmark, then we go through.
Dude, that
game.
That Denmark result against France was huge for us.
Yeah.
If Denmark, they came back, they won all, but France were just too good. Not too good. I think Mbappe and Griezmann. Their link-up play is disgusting, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's just like so.
Actually, I think even if Tunisia beat France, I think we just need a draw and we're through.
Yeah, because they're they're how many points behind us? They're 2 points behind us now. No.
Wait. No.
Yeah, they're on 1 point. They drew.
What's the goal difference though?
They drew to Tunisia.
I think we're
-2.
Yeah, we're -2 because of the France game. Now, they need to beat them.
All we need to do is draw or win against Denmark, and we're fine, and we're through.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah.
Look, there is that possibility, Tunisia against France, but not going to happen.
Nah.
So I'm not really worried about that. Well, France, like we know, they've confirmed for the final stage now, like the knockout stage. I still think with their 7th team, they're beating Tunisia. So
yeah, true.
I don't think there's much to worry about.
They'll be resting the big ones, Mbappe, Griezmann, and that, but they should.
Varane played, man.
Varane's back in after going off crying at United.
I was quite surprised to see
him back already.
But I just hope I hope France don't rush him. I hope France aren't just throwing him in there just for their sake, because at the end of the day, he's got a career with my boys, and believe me, I'd much rather United success than France's, especially with them in our group. But I just think, let's just see how Varane. There will be questions asked of the French camp if he comes out injured from this World Cup.
Yeah,
for sure. But anyway,
speaking of injuries, there's been a fair few.
Yeah, there have been.
One being my prediction for player of the tournament. I don't know if it was yours as well, Neymar.
No, he definitely was us. Lionel Messi is going to be, but let's see. That's still unfolding.
Well,
but Neymar, big out for Brazil.
Apparently, he's out for just the group stages.
Yeah,
they reckon he'll be back for the knockout stages.
That ankle looked really messed up.
Yeah,
looked really messed up. He
Did not look
posted
good
on Instagram and everywhere else and Twitter or whatever. And yeah, he's definitely he didn't ballerina off this time. He was definitely within his right to get rested.
Something about him in these big tournaments, just not.
Is his sister's birthday soon?
Could
I
be,
don't know. Might be
be.
his sister's birthday soon because I don't know. We're gonna look back into that because that's
a
an
possibility.
awful sus relationship, bro.
Yeah,
They've got a tighter relationship than me and my missus, man. Seriously, fucking hell, I envy that shit. Anyway,
but yeah, Brazil still looked strong. Richarlison on the double,
bro. That guy is turning into something else, bro. You just see it.
People were saying why is Jesus not starting over him, and it's simple. He's more of a out and out goal scorer than Jesus is. Jesus. That's why Jesus was playing on the wing at City, because he wasn't the guy that's going to finish off every single chance. He's the guy that's going to dribble around a few players, create big chances, but not always finish it. Whereas Richarlison will put him in.
I think they play similarly in that sense, Brazil and City, where they're wingers and they're going to switch sides. Yeah. They're strikers. Like all that front three are going to alternate, and I think that's what Brazil do well too, because they can. You got Vini, you've got Richarlison, Jesus, Rodrigo, whoever, to throw in there, and doesn't matter what position they go in, mixes up the opposition. So I think Richarlison definitely, you're right, is the number one choice. Yeah. Whereas Jesus can play anywhere.
He's the most natural number 9.
And look what's happened. It's right of you to call. It's right of you to bring that up, because I think a lot of people would question that. And because Richarlison's had an okay season at Tottenham, whereas Gabriel's, Jesus's, team's doing a lot better. Yeah, maybe it's got to do with his domestic form not scoring enough. I don't know. We look at that as a positive, but they may look at it as a negative.
Yeah, I think it's just they look at it the way their team's going to play the best. The way their team's going to play the best is if Neymar and Vini are serving up someone who's going to put away majority of the chances. Yeah, for sure. And Jesus will put some away, but maybe not as clinical, not quite as clinical as Richarlison.
I don't know, man. I feel like they're both in their day. They're both as deadly as each other. I don't know, but that's a beauty with national team selection. You don't know what your best team is until you field them. Like at the end of the day, like us Australia, feel like Mitchell Duke shouldn't be before the tournament. He shouldn't have been starting, and it should have been someone else. But I feel like he's doing a pretty decent job. So thankfully,
him and Richarlison proving their critics wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I think Richarlison had it a bit easier. I think Duke's still second division Japanese player, like Japanese league player. Like you're gonna have your reservations.
He's not got the greatest record in there either. It's not terrible. It's not amazing. It's interesting.
He's got a World Cup goal now.
Our other options were A-League players. McLaren, Goodwin.
McLaren looked shit when he came on. Yeah. By the way, against Tunisia.
Tim Cahill was sitting in the stands. Yeah, Get him on there.
Dude, he looks good enough to jump in there still, man, honestly. But yeah, I feel like in terms of what we have, it's going to be a bit of a struggle for us Aussies, if I'm honest, in the later stages.
Yeah, well, we'll see how Brazil go in their second game, because they've only played the one so far. Yeah,
they have,
So yeah, we'll see how they go. Some more injuries, such as a few goalkeepers. Saudi Arabian goalkeeper.
Yes,
I forgot his name, but he copped a nice concussion.
Was it goal? That was his centre back, wasn't it?
Was it the centre back? No. Was it it was the Argentina Saudi Arabia game?
Oh, okay, yeah. He did.
I don't know what point of the game it was. He got knocked to the face, and he tried to keep going, but he wasted about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't want to come off. You're right. He was all messed up. His face was all messed up. Yeah, you're right. He didn't want to come off, and he's like, "No, I can't do this." He's like, "I'm done."
Yeah, I had some notes about that. Yeah, that Argentina game. I don't know. The Argentina just didn't turn up.
Nah, I think the Argentina. So at this point now, Argentina's played. Last night it was the second round of games for Group D for our group. So still a couple of 4 out of 4 groups. Sorry, not out of 4 groups. However many groups there are, only 4's played. So Argentina, their first game was terrible, whereas the second game they had a lot more control. So
I'm thinking of a different game here, you know.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. That's what I was like.
Yeah, the goalkeeper I'm thinking of was the England-Iran game.
Yeah, it was the Iranian one.
Yeah, the Iranian one.
Yeah, bro. Let's be honest. Like, it's gonna
There's too many games going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of games going on. But that's why I thought, I'm like, yeah, you got pretty messed up. But
someone got taken off in that. I remember because after Argentina had I don't know. I thought their first half was a bit dodgy.
It was their centre back got kneed in the face.
Yeah, it was a centre back.
That's what I was like thinking if that was the Iran game or not. But so the centre back got kneed in the face by he got fucking knocked out. I thought he was gone.
Yeah, he was. He was out. Yeah, he was out.
Like
he was out cold.
He got up like an absolute trooper though, man. Like
he did.
And I think that was a turning point for the Saudis. I think like up until that point, they were in the game still, but like I think that really got him over the line and like gave him a lot more energy because that was earlier on as well.
Yeah,
it was earlier on.
The first half, I thought Argentina was just a bit lackluster. They did score like 4 offside goals or something like that, but even then,
sounds familiar, man. Yeah, sounds familiar because Higuain. Remember, that was in the final.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. They just didn't look. They just didn't look like the favourites everyone were making them out to be.
No, but that's the thing with them. They just come out really fast, and they were running offside. So this was my critique of Argentina, and this was and they 100% touched that. You could see that they addressed it in the game against Mexico. They decided that their runs would start from their defensive half. Oh my God, bro! The amount of times I saw Argentina because. Saudis like to play. Both teams like to play on the counter attack.
Yeah.
And Argentina likes to have control of the ball, but I don't think they play the best then, and that's what they did against the Saudis. Yeah. They tried playing the ball up and then playing the through ball way too late. I feel like they could have within 1 or 2 passes Saudis been through and scored.
Yeah.
So they did that a lot better against Mexico. I feel like they utilized their speed up front.
They played much better.
I feel like that's what this World Cup's about now. It's about utilizing the space you have and your speed, and that's where. Sorry, we're jumping from game to game, but that's where Mbappe, Griezmann, and Mbappe's link-up play has been awesome because they understand where they need to be or where they're going to be or how much they need to put on a pass or whatever.
Yeah,
or that's more Griezmann towards Mbappe because they know where they're going to be, and I think Argentina just don't. Their front line's always mixing up a bit. You don't know who's going to start where. Like, Di Maria always switches wings. You don't know where he's going to start. You don't know if Messi's going to be on as a cam or as a right. You just don't know. Last game, it was Martinez and Messi up front, starting up front.
Yeah.
So it's like, anyway. So I just feel it's not as cohesive.
Yeah.
It wasn't as cohesive as it was against Mexico, the Saudi game. Argentina, I'm talking about.
Yeah. I kept thinking my fantasy team was getting better and better every time I saw Martinez or Messi score. And then every single one got ruled off.
Yeah, man. Like, it was just frustrating to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just like, come on. Like, Lautaro Martinez, like, he is allowing Messi to do his thing.
Yeah.
And he's just, he knows, I think he's a really fucking good team player. I think at Inter Milan with when Lukaku and him were both firing.
Yeah.
I think it's all about him. I think he's the one who definitely gives them the license to score that many goals as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think Argentina is still in for a good chance. I'm not ruling them out. I think any team can struggle first game and finish off. Like I know we said about Real Madrid and the Champions League.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Right?
Yeah. I know I said about Real Madrid and the Champions League. Sheriff. They lost to Sheriff and they ended up winning. Yeah, they've got double the games in the group stage, but I still feel like Argentina. It was just the occasion that got to them. It was like the second day, third day.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, here we go. It's starting. It's here.
All credit to the Saudis though, because they came out firing in that second half.
Yeah, man.
Two amazing goals and then defended with their lives.
They really did. I think
the passion was still there.
Bro, they're making those stadiums like home pitches, bro. But it's funny how quiet they go when they go down. Bro, I want to talk about just quickly Tunisian fans. 20 minutes in, before we scored, obviously, they were chanting every time they passed, like as though we were some small club that was facing some big team. But then I was just in my head, I'm like, I hope we score, and I hope they they just go quiet. And it's amazing. It's like they had gags in their mouth the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, back to the Saudis real quick. They've all got a Rolls Royce each now.
Yeah, I know, man. It's the Australians have a
Commodore each.
Have a mint Commodore with a sick bus seat looking wrap.
Yeah.
The green and gold bus seat wrap.
I don't know which one I'd rather have, to be honest with you.
Oh, mate, nothing like a
proper
nice Ecotech 6-cylinder. That's fucking awesome. In first gear, you hit 80.
Best one.
Versus what, a Rollsy? What's a Rolls Royce?
I've never heard of it before.
I don't know either. It's probably not as luxurious as a Commie.
Sounds slow.
Let's be honest, man. It doesn't have that eco boost, bro. I'm telling you. What's the point of it? Handmade, don't care.
The skids don't rip the same.
Exactly right, brother. Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah.
You need that Aussie flavour in there, or else you're not gonna get as pleb as a. You're not going to be able to fry as much fucking as rubber as much as you want. No. But anyway, look.
Anyway,
Saudis were really good.
They played very well,
but then they played pretty shit. Oh, they were blunt. They were how do I put? Their swords were blunted, bro. Against what's the name? Against Poland.
Yeah,
they were really found it hard to break through Poland.
Yeah,
and Lewandowski played like shit. If I'm honest,
scored.
I still think he played like shit.
Yeah, that's sometimes strikers will have something like that. They don't really touch the ball all game, and then their first touch they'll just go in.
It's a good point, but you should have seen no. But he was doing these touches. You never look. You see some of which, but I just think he didn't have as much control over the ball as what he once has previously. It's like since he's moved to Barca, he's sort of I don't know, just a bit more rough.
He's lost some weight.
He has. He has. So
the way they feed them over in Bayern Munich, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what they pop in their beers or the meat that they have. Anyway, so
that's why Sadio Mane is not getting any more jacked because he can't drink the beer.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, true. It's the beer. It has to be the beer.
Something in the beer. The carbs that fuel them before the games.
So, all right, let's talk about our realistic chances of getting through Australia. All right.
I think it's coming home.
Don't home.
No. It's realistically, it's very, very slight. We've got to get a result against Denmark. We've got to get a draw. Which going any other game, you'd be like, oh, it favors us because a draw and a win put us through, whereas a loss doesn't. So that's a 67% chance. But realistically, Denmark's the favourites.
Yeah,
very, very favourably.
Of course, yeah,
but I think we played really well against Tunisia. If we pull out another performance like that, you never know. It's entirely possible.
I agree, man. I think the way the Aussies played against Tunisia. I think we went into that game thinking that they were going to physically overpower us. They were going to be more hungry. Mate, that may have been for the first 5 minutes, but then that just all died away. And I think that is going to show. I think whatever's expected will show in the first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? You saw that with Argentina. You saw that with, not France against us. It's a bit of an exception. But you've seen the stronger teams start games really well, but then the underdogs come through and get the result. Like Germany, man. Like Germany, Japan, bro. Fuck. That was Germany had so much control in that game. They just gave it away.
It was almost a carbon copy of the Argentina Saudi game.
Yeah.
Penalty early and then 2 goals in the second half.
Well, there you go, man. I'm really not surprised, mate, because at the end of the day, it's a World Cup and you can't play for 60 minutes. You drop off you get 10 minutes in extra time, you know what I mean? And 10 minutes,
the amount of extra
it goes
time
from 90 minutes to back to, like, think about it in this way. You can look at it like this, right? Get up to your 90 minutes, 10 minutes is added on. So you technically back down to 80 and you're like fucking playing that last phase of the game again.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck that. Usually those last 10 minutes take out players. So that's where you're seeing the real like the Iran like late winners, with against the with Hennessy getting sent off with that stupid challenge. Like it's just like you don't lift your leg up that high, bro, not that far out as well. Dumb. But look, man, at the end of the day, it benefited Iran, and I don't know. I forgot what I predicted in terms of that group, but I think
I predicted England and the US.
Yeah,
I hope so, because Wales look rough.
I don't think I said Wales.
I think
Wales
I said it was
don't
between.
Look good. I didn't think that. I just didn't think that. I think that if you're relying on Dan James to start, and I'm not saying this because he didn't do well at United, but hasn't done well at Leeds either. Like, I don't think that's a secret, and he's done okay. Like, but like in terms of the standards that was set out for him at the start of last year, mate, he's not a shadow of what he was. He's not a fucking shadow of what he should have been. And with Wales now, he just doesn't do enough because he forces Bale to either play up front with him or that's it. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. Like, and you're saying about the Wales setup, like you feel like
I feel like the attacking setup's all wrong.
Yeah,
I think depending on how they want to play, if they want to play a counter-attacking style, then they need Dan James's pace. Yeah. But if they want to play a build-up play, I think Bale and Kiefer Moore both need to be there, or one or the other. I think the lineup, ideally, the way they play is probably going to be on the counter. So the lineup probably should be Dan James, Kiefer Moore, and then either Bale or Harry Wilson. But I think it's too hard to not start Bale, because even though I think he did piss all, to be honest, in the Iran game, it's hard to not start him because he's the man that's been carrying them for so long. But I don't know. It's sort of like Ronaldo. It's time to step down, maybe.
Let's look with Ronaldo. Different, like he's still starting
not Portugal, but
he's still starting for Portugal.
Yeah.
Anyway, you had to throw that little cheap shot in, didn't you?
Well. Is it wrong?
Yeah, well, next time you guys get a cult hero, I'll give him shit. But that hasn't been around for a few years now, has it?
Nah, not since
Drogba.
That's Drogba, Lampard, Terry days.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Hazard.
Nah, I wouldn't say
not
Hazard.
quite.
I wouldn't say Hazard. He's a Real Madrid boy now. He's not a Chelsea boy. Like, you think of Hazard, you think of Real Madrid.
Come on, man. No.
I'm trying to make up for Ronaldo here.
Not having that.
Because everyone's like, you think of Ronaldo, you think of Real Madrid. I'm like, nah, you think of United. What are you talking about? Obviously. When you think of LeBron James, you think of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of like that. He's come home. He actually won a championship with the Cavs once he got home, didn't he?
He did.
But with Ronaldo, he just cried.
He just cried. He needs some counselling to help him realise he's not as good as he once was.
No, look. The shitty things that happened to him. You're right. I'm not taking that away from him. But everyone's got fucking issues. Bad things happen to everyone though. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? He's a high pressure player when it comes to on the field, but I think that's where it stays. I think in terms of pressure, I think that's the only time in which he can handle it. I don't think he can handle it off the field. I think once he's on the pitch, he turns into someone different. I mean, once he's off, he doesn't go his way. He's cracking it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. 100%. Well, real quick, that full interview did come out. I don't know. I think he had in the interview. He said he's like, I hope I still play for Manchester United. Like he's not dumb. We know you're not dumb. He knew he wouldn't play after that. So the real question is, what happens to him now? Like, what's happened. Glazers might be selling. Maybe the interview is a good thing. Yeah, a blessing in disguise.
We might actually end up thanking him after this. Yeah. I think you're right. I think it is a blessing in disguise, and I think the Glazers have again leveraged Ronaldo to help themselves. So, the first off, signing him, finding that he's on the market, and they're like, all right, cool, we'll sign you. You might shut up the supporters for a bit.
Yeah.
It was only a bad day, let's be honest. And now that he's come out with this tabloid-esque, way of approaching his issues, the Glazers are like, we don't look like the worst people now. So let's say, we're going to sell up, and we've finished our interest, and hopefully they select the right people to take over. Hopefully there's a board that represents the fans and finds the right people.
Yeah. Well, if I'm playing devil's advocate here, I don't actually think what he said was all that bad. But the bad part was that he's still under contract at the club when he said it, because you've got like Jose Mourinho and Ibrahimovic saying similar stuff, but after they'd left.
Exactly, that's just how business is.
So that's
you can't be. That's why I was pissed off with Ronaldo. It's
he shouldn't be doing it now. But I think he knew he was gonna go. He's done in January. He knew he was going out. He knew he's either got another deal lined up, or he knew that they were going to get rid of him.
I think you're right. No. I think you're right. He had a deal lined up. He didn't know what to do. And he's like, who's the most controversial fuckwit I know? Piers Morgan. And we'll force the move. And if it's just by mutual agreement, then Ronaldo doesn't really lose much. Sure, the right to whatever money if he got sacked, but he didn't get sacked.
He doesn't care about the money anyway.
No, of course he doesn't. He cares about leaving. He doesn't want to be a part of Manchester United anymore because it's not the club he thought it would be, which is fine. But do it discreetly. Don't drag us through all the. It's not about it is about my club and United and like loving the club itself, but it's just it's torment for the fans and not knowing what's going to happen and the fact that he's decided to be loud about it 1 minute and answer the questions he wants to answer.
Yeah.
Comes to the media and gets questioned for the World Cup, which is a couple of days after he's aired it, he doesn't want to answer questions about it. And you're like, okay, oh, you don't want to speak out about because it's gonna tarnish your country's hopes, but fuck your club's hopes of anything. Don't worry about United's hopes in terms of what we want to do domestically or even in Europa level. Yeah. Fuck our progress. Let's worry about your progress in your country. And it just shows in terms of what's the name of it? Loyalties lie.
Yeah.
It's very conditional. It's conditional on what's easiest for him. I love him, but that's just how I see him, and that's what I said. Said that before the interviews even came out. He's just always been opinionated and a strong character, but he uses to his advantage. That's it.
Yeah. Well, in talking about what deal he's got lined up, where do you think it is?
Well, there were rumors this morning about I think it was I don't know, man, Al Hilal or.
He's getting a big deal from there.
180 mil over 3 years. I love 60 mil a year.
Yeah, I love the memes about Saudi Arabia beating Argentina and all of the Saudi fans chanting against Messi, and then Ronaldo's like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah, like what the fuck? And then he throws the sui on in front of the Messi mural in the stadium there. And it was Portugal and fucking hell, what was their first game again?
Portugal's first game?
Ghana,
that's it.
So yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
By the way, the absolute shithousery from what's the name of it? Ghana. I forgot the player.
His name. He did the Sue when he's 2-3 down right at the end of the game.
If you're 3-1 down, you score. You're running straight for that ball in the net. If you're running towards a corner, then man, you're getting dropped the next game. I don't think that guy. Hey, look, he scored. Yeah, but what the fuck? Celebrate. You're in the 88th minute, and you're 1 goal down, and you go just to talk shit.
Yeah.